XRP ETF and crypto going to explode in 2024. We're going to break all that down and all the rumors going around in today's video. My name is Coach JB. What I work to do is make very complex macro and microeconomic strategies very simple so the normal everyday person can implement them. We've helped over 8,000 people since 2020, and our goal is to help 1 million people by 2025. We have 3 amazing resources for you. In the description of this video, or in my bio, you can set up a free consultation with my licensed insurance team, and I teach you how I insure my wealth in tax code 7702. People call it the infinity banking concept. They teach you how to insure your life. We insure our wealth during these volatile times. Number 2 is a free 16-page guide on exactly the blueprint, on exactly from my paradigm on how I did this. And number 3, you can fill out an application to apply for our private academy. There's lots of free resources out there for you. That's in the description of this video or in the bio here on social media. All right, so let's dive right into it. So all over the weekend, and I always let things digest, let the dust settle, and I take a deep breath. And I get back to fundamentals. Now the rumors, there's people saying BlackRock is going to put an XRP ETF out there in April, and all these people are saying they have insight. They have, these secret people giving them information. Guys, nobody knows at our level. BlackRock, JP Morgan, the BIS, the G20, they're all making these moves behind the scenes, guys. What we do know is that we are invested in the worldwide shift in a financial system. What we do have to do is get non-emotional about these markets. So what I do is I take a deep breath. I understand at a deep level, understand, not understand what is shifting. Okay. So do I think that maybe a Bitcoin ETF come out? I do. I really think it will. And I think it's going to be by one of these big companies like BlackRock that in 2017, they said that cryptocurrency is used for money laundering. And now in 2023, they say that it's a flight to safety. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to Kathy Woods, right? Kathy Woods and ARK Investment. You look at BlackRock, who's the largest asset manager in the world. JP Morgan, which is the largest, one of the most profound, I don't know if profound is the right word, prolific, dominant banks in the world that already started their own JPM coin. Guys, we're heading into crypto. Now, what you have to do is build a fundamental, long-term, fundamental portfolio and have a short-term exit strategy, which I'll explain exactly what I'm doing on the back end of this video. So yes, I do believe that something like an XRP ETF is going to come out. I do think that a Bitcoin ETF is going to get approved. I don't think it's going to get approved this week, January 10th. If it does, awesome. I don't think Gary Gensler's ego will allow that to actually happen. I think there's too much going on. He's vying for his next position within whatever job he's trying to get, and he will hit the button. He will say yes when he is able to benefit from it. That's just how it works, guys. That's just how it works. Okay. So we don't have the inside. I used to be an ex-banker. I was a VP at a bank. I don't have secret doors that I look back behind. What we do know is history. History repeats itself over and over again. What I do know is that when there's boom and bust cycles, and there's very volatile markets and new technology, you can make a lot of money, but you can get poor very, very quickly. Okay. So we're going to watch this video from Kathy Woods, and we're going to break down and narrate this video and really try to understand at a deep level what she's saying. It's about a 7-minute video, and I will narrate by stopping it every once in a while to share my opinion on what she's saying. Okay. Then on the back end of every video, I break down exactly what I'm doing for my current paradigm.
I would say. And so we were watching Bitcoin like a hawk, and there was the European sovereign debt crisis threatening to rear its ugly head again. And so we were watching what happened to the Bitcoin price as the markets elsewhere, whether they're the sovereign wealth bonds or the stock markets themselves, were imploding at times. And Bitcoin was inching up, and we thought, oh, that's so interesting.
Okay, so let me break down what she just said. So what they did is they started to look outside because Bitcoin is a global asset, right? It's deemed a non-security or a commodity by the CFTC if you pull up their website. So basically what she was saying is they started to look outside when the markets started to collapse outside of America, and it was a risk off asset. So as the markets were collapsing, Bitcoin started to go up. So what they started to see is that even early on that Bitcoin was a flight to safety. And so we can use the word cryptocurrency too, because when Bitcoin goes parabolic, there's a lot of conversation around Bitcoin. But remember, those profits flood into alternative coins, which are all the coins that you probably hold.
And we began to think, okay, could Bitcoin be not only a risk-on asset, but a risk-off asset. And it's the first time that I remember saying, this could be a hedge against counterparty risk in an implosion of the financial ecosystem. And it was acting that way. So most people, as they were being introduced to Bitcoin, were introduced to it as an inflation hedge, a hedge against inflation. We were looking at the sovereign debt crisis and saying, wow, it's behaving very interesting. This is the threat of deflation, and it's doing very well. And then, of course, we had.
Okay, so now this was when the economy was not in the free fall in America like it is. So this was when the economy, the printing machine was on full blast. Now in America, we're in an inflationary environment, higher interest. So they were looking at it as a risk on asset, and now they're looking at it as a risk off asset. So a flight to safety.
The regional bank crisis this year. And lo and behold, it was especially after 2022, where we had Terra Luna, Celsius, Three Arrows, FTX, basically going under. And here, as the regional bank index in the United States was imploding, actually, Bitcoin went up 50%. And then we said, aha, there was a trace of this back during the 2015 time period. But this was, hey, Bitcoin, now we know, is not only a risk-on asset and does very well typically as some other markets are doing well, but it charts its own course. And it is also a risk-off asset.
There's nothing like this in history, guys, that it's risk on, risk off. It performs no matter what the market is doing.
How many assets are there like that out there? So big aha moment last year.
I really think that moment will go down as the event that really marked the perception shift from Bitcoin to being risk on to both risk on and risk off. And now,
can I just say something about that to help people understand? First of all, what were we saying about FTX and all of the bad news last year? We basically said, this is proving the point, the reason Bitcoin is important. FTX was.
I remember Gary Gensler met with the FTX 6 months before it collapsed.
Completely centralized,
yep,
completely opaque, and it turns out completely fraudulent.
Just like the banks.
Right? And what do we have in Bitcoin? It is completely decentralized, completely transparent by digital wallet address, and basically a giant neighborhood watch system, because there are so many people watching now, people whose livelihoods depend on this, not just in the developed world, but especially in the emerging markets. So it helped us.
Now, remember, Elizabeth Warren, and you got Jamie Dimon sitting there in front of Congress saying that it's used for money laundering. It's increased for fentanyl usage, all this stuff, guys. The reason why they're saying this is because they know it's a risk on, risk off asset, and it's also had performed like nothing has ever performed before, and it puts the banks at risk. So they will eventually have it at their banks. I promise you.
Let's prove the point. And then on deflation, what was that point? And basically a giant neighborhood watch system, because there are so many people watching now, people whose livelihoods depend on this, not just in the developed world, but especially in the emerging markets. So it helped us prove the point. And then on deflation, what was that point? Well, there is no counterparty risk with this transparent decentralized ecosystem. Unlike our banking system circa 08-09, counterparty risk was the reason the financial markets seized up and were paralyzed, and why the
Okay, so I'm going to leave it right there, and I'm going to give you my narrative around this. It's pretty powerful. Check this out. Okay, so remember what happened in 2008, 2009? She brought up the banking system. Okay, so what happened is because of the centralization of the banking system, the lack of opaque, the lack of visibility, right? All of a sudden in 2009, after that, the BRICS country, Brazil, India, Russia, China, and South Africa formed BRICS. And at the same time, Bitcoin's inception. Isn't that interesting? After US's biggest financial collapse in history, up until the one we're going through now, all of a sudden Bitcoin came on the scene. And that's why the banks have been pushing back so hard. That's why they created the FOMC in 2012 that Gary Gensler was part of. That's why Rosie Rios is told to reduce coin and cash usage in 2012. Obama turned on the printing machine so they could stack their bags, the Cantillon effect, right? Everything shifted in 2012. 2020, we had a shock to the system. Family, you are going digital. You are going tokenized. There's going to be only 5% of the public, which you're probably watching this, are exposed to cryptocurrency. They will bring you in. They will bring the public in when they can get profits, just like BlackRock. Okay. Think about this for just a moment. So here's exactly what I'm doing. Okay. This is only speaking from my paradigm, not financial advice. So I have a crypto portfolio. Okay. And what I basically do is I I'm not attached to my crypto, guys. It is not my retirement. Crypto is an extremely speculative asset. There's no regulation. It's extremely volatile. So I play it like that. Okay. So if you go to the casino and you put down $1,000 on black and you win $2,000, what should you do? Always pull your house money first. Okay. I always pull the house money. Now you're playing on funny money. It's the house's money. But what does a casino do? They know that you're going to keep trying to bet in. That doesn't work. Crypto is like gambling. Okay. So when you put money into this crypto market and we have the Bitcoin halving get approved, or excuse me, yeah, Bitcoin ETF get approved, then we have the Bitcoin halving in April, then interest rates drop, your crypto is going to go straight up through the roof with institutional adoption. That's why you have to have Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. It's 30 days for free down in my description here. I am the co-founder and creator, one of the co-founders and creator, 36,000 lines of code to create this amazing part right here. The exit strategy. You all need to develop an exit strategy. This is your Super Bowl. Do not wait until June and July. You'll be too late. You'll be emotional. You'll try to get rich quick and you will get wrecked like all the people that got wrecked 2021 to 2022. It came collapsing down 85%. You don't think that these people are going to pull profits? These asset men, they go through different doors, guys. They don't have the same doors we do. They're not trading on Coinbase, guys. When this shit goes parabolic, the exchanges are going to shut down. On the way up, you need to pull profits at ladders. Okay. So I holding 50% of my portfolio long-term. I'm not touching it. 50% will be exited out of the market as it hits price targets on the way up. So as you guys are coming in, I'm laddering out. Then my next step is I put mine into Index Universal Life. That's what I do. I don't know if it'll work for you, but it's worked for me and many other warriors worldwide. We've helped hundreds of people. Okay. So I put mine in insurance because it's tier 1 capital. I can insure my wealth. I can borrow against the cash value tax-free if it's set up properly. It's extremely important that the agent sets it up properly. Number 2 is that I'm getting market-like returns. Number 3 is it does have a little bit of a death benefit. And number 4, it protects my principal. So whatever I put in there, I'm guaranteed my principal. The stock market, excuse me, the 401k, if it comes collapsing down, it's ruthless. It doesn't care about your retirement, doesn't care that your kids are going to college. Number 3 is business. That's I'm diversified in information technology, attention, and education. That's the quickest way to wealth, in my opinion. That's what's increased my wealth paradigm. Number 3 is precious metals. I have silver. I'm getting into gold in 2024. Here we are. We're getting into gold. Now I'm going into real estate. So I'm going to start getting rental properties and I'm going to figure out the real estate game for tax liabilities, depreciation, and the interest for tax liabilities, and then try to make a little bit of money off the doors. And then my spiritual walk, my alignment with God is my number 1 focus. My relationship with God, my relationship with my family, which truly makes me the richest man in the world. So I hope this information reaches you well. I want to share a few tools if you'd like to get in the game. Like I said, down below, you can apply for our private academy. There's different levels you can come in. So it's about having that conversation, asking as many questions as you would like. We are launching what's called our 4-week webinar series. So week 1 is exact cryptocurrency allocation, exactly what we do, basically. It's not financial advice. We're just showing you our paradigm, showing you allocations, things like that. Because a lot of people are like, what do you get into? How do you do it? Why do you do it? Week 2 is how do you exit the markets properly? What is an exit strategy? How do you exit? All the resources. Week 3 is my exact paradigm, exactly how my system is set up, from precious metals, my resource, Index Universal Life, my resources. Okay. Everything that I do, I show you my diversification strategy. I give you resources. Then week 4 is what a lot of people are excited about, is the trust portion. So I work with one of the top trust attorneys in the United States, and he set up what's called the Rockefeller Trust Waterfall system for me. I'm in the process of it's tons of paperwork, but you can set up different levels of trust, because that's really important as you get into the wealth game. If you're planning on being wealthy, it's important. Well, anybody should have a trust, guys. You don't want stuff to go into probate. You don't want the banks to be, take control of your. I experienced that while I was at the bank, when people come in and they have no trust, no will, nothing. So that's important for me in legacy biblically. Okay. So that's all in the description down below. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I wish you an awesome day. And as we always say, warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.